Thank you, Jerry. It's the last afternoon of this conference, so let's have a little bit of fun. I just want to thank Vertical Events for running this event. It's really important for the industry. Thank you all as investors, promoters, diggers, dealers. You do a lot to support Australia throughout this period, and today I want to introduce you to Global Lithium. We're a growing WA-focused lithium explorer, and I want to focus around people, position, and pipeline. Here's a pipeline. I thought, as I was bringing this together, back in the early 2000s, we saw a pipeline this. It was the iron ore industry taking off. What was exciting about that, it was driven by the middle class of China. What I'm here to share with you is that we are riding this wave of consumer-driven structural demand and the energy transition to a level we've never seen before. Why is that exciting? It's not just the middle class of China. This has actually been driven on a global scale, and this is our opportunity at Global Lithium. Ron Mitchell provided me with this data. He's just joined us from Tianqi. He's also chairman of the LME Lithium Committee, and you can see some of these numbers are very compelling. I guess the most important thing is he is saying to me today, China will lead the first wave, Europe will lead the second wave, then the States, then Japan. So we see a lot of upside in lithium, and Western Australia produces some 60% of the world's lithium. Let me bring you back to people, positioning, and pipeline. They're all critical parts of building a mining company. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of our land, the Noongar Whadjuk people, traditional custodians, and we wish to acknowledge their strength and their continuing culture and offer our respects to the elders past and present. This is our team. For a $300 million market cap team, we're very, very proud of the quality of people we've put together. I touched on Ron's joined us from the Tianqi. He starts in March. I want to acknowledge Dr. Dianmen Chen, who's here in the audience with a number of our shareholders, having the vision to get involved in lithium some 3 years ago in the Pilbara. Unfortunately, Jamie Wright's moving back to South Australia. He is our founding managing director. We wish him well, and we're in market for a managing director right now. Greg Lillyman, he's probably known to many of you in the room. He's developed tens of billions of dollars of projects in the Pilbara. Recently joined us from Fortescue Metals Group and leads our development side of the business. Haley Lawrence, ESG, we all talk about ESG, but we're actually building out that team in quite a considered way. And the executive are doing a fantastic job. We've had a very small team. We've driven a lot of value in a very short space of time. I would acknowledge Stuart Peterson, who's in the room. He's been announced today as our head of geology. Brian Burke's driven our exploration, our team, Joe and Kim. And also the resource potentials, there's representatives in the room, CSA Global and Orlando, who are punching out 60,000 metres as we speak in Marble Bar. ESG, I talked about, these are the runway which will build this company out. It's really important that we get this right. This is the team in Marble Bar last week, kicking off the 60,000 metre campaign. I'd now like to bring you to our positioning. You can see we're actually closed at $1.47 today, so this was pre-trading halt. We've announced a 9.9 million tonne resource at our Manor project, which we've acquired from Breaker. You can actually see the share price appreciation has been well-deserved on key milestones achieved, and we've achieved a lot given we're less than 8 months listed on the ASX. You can see a tight capital structure, got a really, really supportive shareholder base, including Breaker, which we completed the transaction with, and we're looking forward to continuing to build this company. You can see the milestones achieved. I think if you reflect on that in less than a year of listing, that's a remarkable achievement, culminating in we did a secondary capital raising here and bought Tiani, which is a chemical supplier into cattle, which I'll touch on shortly. Why is cattle the world's biggest EV producer, owning 10% of this company? I think that graph speaks for itself. We've got 2 projects. There's not many lithium companies that have a project both in the goldfields, like the Manor project, and also in Archer. I think Mineral Resources comes to mind, but certainly operating in the Pilbara and the goldfields, which are 2 very well-known jurisdictions around the world, is a competitive advantage to us. And like I said before, we've announced today we have announced the 9.9 million tonne resource there, which we only acquired that project at Christmas. Marble Bar, I'm sure most of you in the room have been there. It's a world-class in terms of infrastructure. We have an airstrip which the Calidus team are working on, and others in their area, which will drop within 10 kilometres of Marble Bar. We have the township, which are very supportive of mining. We have Port Hedland, not that far away. We have a bore field, which Calidus are using right now, and we have obviously access to the port of Port Hedland. Here's some of our geology and location. I think the most important point here is the size of our tenement holding that we've been able to put together since IPO, which includes a 6-kilometre strike. This is the drilling commencing last week, 60,000 metres underway. It was a bit wet, but they certainly got off and running, and they're doing a great job by all accounts. This is a 6-kilometre strike that I've talked about. This campaign we're running is drilling down to the south of Archer, and any technical questions, we've got some of our technical team at our booth, but you can see some of the grades and intercepts there. Gives us a lot of hope. We've also had some gold opportunities emerge, and we'll look to commercialise that this year. You'll see 7 metres at 4.8 gram dirt. That's well worth following up, and that's up there near where the Talga project is, which is Novo's project. But we're not getting distracted from lithium. Here's back to the Manor lithium project, which I touched on. Acquisition completed just before Christmas. $30 million deal, and certainly delivers us 2 projects in the lithium space, and a credit to the Breaker team to get it to where they are. We saw similar opportunities in Manor as we saw in the Marble Bar asset, and the ability to grow something quite large. This is the pegmatites that the Breaker team have discovered, and we're certainly pleased to announce our resource today. So, news drives share price. The important thing for us, having two projects, we continue to drive news throughout the whole of the year. As you know, it gets pretty warm up in the Pilbara, but as you can see, the team are busy with a 60,000 metre campaign. We've got our metallurgical testing coming on stream. We've got our assay results for both lithium and gold. The Manor project, we look to get on the ground there. We'll do some heritage work and get quite busy. We've got metallurgical testing also due at Manor, and we'll continue to do our studies in the background. So in terms of global lithium, we are in 2 highly prospective lithium projects in a Tier 1 jurisdiction. We have a attributable inferred mineral resource of 18.4 million tonnes, which is a pretty good effort, within 12 months of listing. We're aggressive on the ground. We've raised money to do the drilling, and we're working hard on that. We've got the world-class infrastructure. We've got a team driven by ESG and fundamentals. We have a strong pipeline of news, and back to where we started, I think this is Kelly Slater. Only last week, some 50-year-old won the Pipeline Masters. So he's navigated many waves and many opportunities. And let's hope that global lithium can continue to grow into the future. Thank you very much for listening.